My name is Omar Rampersad. It's Monday, January 4th, 2019 at 9:44 p.m. in Toronto. So, I was just updated by some yelling outside my window, and this is people like yelling outside their window that I could hear outside mine because it's warm and I opened up the window. So, and also some comments outside my door from some immediate neighbors around my unit. So I heard that the contract to surveil me was with Moradelli, and the company that fired me after only 2 weeks, after getting sick, after being there 1 week, symptoms of being hit with remote technologies like I'm experiencing in the in the unit that I some of the videos I posted. I got sick after a week of experiencing that at this company, and I was updated that the contract that this man had to surveil me that was never disclosed to me, that would explain the harassment that I experienced in the company that got me sick. He had the contract for 3 months. Today is the 4th of February, and I was fired from this company on the 4th of December. So while I was there, somebody had the contract to surveil me because I was being harassed, relentlessly harassed. All kinds of nasty comments around my desk about being a prostitute, being a whore, being a sex slave. And I was relentlessly harassed with the same technologies that's causing the symptoms in the unit as I said before, that I posted on YouTube. It's exactly the same experience as I had in this company and in other companies before that. But there seemed to be some sort of a relationship between a contract to surveil that started in the company and the ending of the contract today and the needing of a new flag to continue the monitoring. So I was being harassed by the neighbor who had the contract or was subcontracting, one of the two, and harassed relentlessly with microwave technology, as I demonstrated in today's video. And I went out and I came home a little while ago, and I was harassed in the drugstore, and followed around, and scouts came around to check me out for managers, potential managers who would take the account out to monitor me because it was an anniversary, and it was an end of somebody's contract, and they had signed me in, and there were scouts coming around to decide whether they're going to take me on or not, to further degrade me and dispose of me. This is experimentation. This is experimentation. This is exactly what Rohini Besasa was talking about, experimentation. I heard I was red alerted when inside of my home, when these triggers of extreme criminal harassment causes anger, as is normal, completely normal. I verbalized the anger because you have to deal with the anger, because if you let it build up and you keep it inside, it can cause all kinds of health issues. So this is my way of dealing with being horrendously triggered and harassed as part of this experiment being carried out, because I heard there wasn't any room in the psych ward and the prison. Keep in mind, I have absolutely no criminal background and I'm not mentally ill. So I was just chosen to run these experiments, and these experiments are also serving as a cover for trafficking, because the surveillance, quote unquote, is outsourced and subcontracted and subcontracted. So everybody's in on it who wants to be. So if anybody were to call the cops today, this evening, and talk about the way that I'm dealing with the triggering that they're causing, then this is not mental illness. This is criminal harassment. This is evidence of criminal harassment and entrapment to get new flags, to continue the monitoring, and to continue the trafficking that goes with it, and the gerbling that goes with the trafficking. There are new Johns, new clients, and I'm going to take a wild guess and say all the neighbors around this unit were clients at one point or the other. They all take turns to look at me inside of my home, track me, hit me with microwave-based technology, gerbil, which is remote rape, and verbally harass me and physically stalk me. So this is not out of the blues. Whatever is recorded inside my home is not happening out of the blue. There is no mental illness. It is happening because I am dealing with the triggering that's caused by criminal harassment with the criminal intent to flag me in order to trap me. So this is not out of the blues. When Rohini Besasa, unfortunately, used a knife on her perpetrator, and I suspect very, very strongly that it was a perpetrator and she was stalking, like I get stalked by traffickers who come around you to update you and to see how you'd react when they drop clues about what their managers like and don't like, meaning the rapist who's going to be living with you and monitoring you. I'm highly suspecting, I strongly suspect that this is what Juno was doing when she triggered Rohini Besasa. And Rohini Besasa was, of course, being experimented with. So, as she said in her own words, something made her do it. Well, the trigger was just a trigger. Whatever made her do it was I'm suspecting, part of the experiment that was being carried out on her. So, from harassing comments I hear around me, of course, I'm not hearing voices. I do not hear voices. These are indirect conversations held around me. I heard that in Rohini Besasa's case, in the conversations, in Rohini Besasa's case, subliminal messaging was being used, and that's the voices that she was hearing. And these subliminal messages were of her managers. These are the people who were taking out the account to surveil her. These were contractors, subcontractors, surveilling her because she was most likely flagged because she was diagnosed as a mentally ill person. She was known to the cops. So they probably flagged her. So I heard in one of the comments around me that they were experimenting with her with subliminal messaging. So these most likely were the voices that she was hearing. In my case, the voices I'm hearing are very, very real. They're outside my door, outside my window. There are people shouting outside their window that I can hear around the building. And there are people who come around me anywhere I go in public. The people who choose to take part in this program, not everybody does it. The people who choose to take part in it will come around me and talk about these reports that are being filed about me, that's being made public, leaked to the public. I heard cops are making announcements about me. These are public announcements. So I'm being harassed with all of this. These are not voices in my head. These are very, very real. And there is no mental illness except the symptoms caused by stress. Criminal harassment causing stress. And this is what I'm doing. This is one of the things that I'm doing to deal with it. There's not going to be any violent acts on my behalf. I strongly believe that change is only going to come about by exposure, by exposing the elephant in the room, start talking about that big, fat elephant in the room that people are not talking about, people are refusing to talk about. We're going to bring that to light. It's going to become visible. It's not going to be invisible anymore. Talk to you another time.